Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, come on in here and talk to me. Sit on down and relax your body.
Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you about the perfect week and how God keeps blessing me.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. No matter what you're going through, let's chat. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Girl, you know I'm here for you. Let's chat.
Hey, honey. Hey, it is your girl, Miss Leda, and I am back with another video. So today's video was a request by my sis, Miss Carmela, and I definitely wanted to do this video because it was heartbreaking, and I want to share my thoughts and opinion with you guys. And I also want to bring awareness for this baby. So you guys stay tuned, listen to the various news articles that I have streamed together so that way you guys can know exactly what transpired before I share my thoughts and opinion with you. So let's get on to this video. Okay, let me go ahead and slap this disclaimer up just in case any of y'all try to come for me while I'm at it.
A Jacksonville mother pleads guilty to murdering her 5-year-old daughter, then dumping her remains in Alabama. The former Navy petty officer first class now faces up to life in prison.
You believe that this is in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
Prosecutors say 29-year-old Brianna Williams abused her young daughter for months, torturing her and putting her in a cage.
And the remains of 5-year-old Taylor Rose Williams were found with evidence of malnourishment and trauma. News4JAX reporter Corley Peel joins us live outside the Duval County Courthouse with what we can expect now that Brianna Williams' charges have changed. Corley.
Brianna Williams has been in jail for the past 2 years, and from day one, she's been suspected in her daughter Taylor's disappearance and death. And now, since she's pleaded guilty, her charges have changed to second-degree murder. Brianna Williams gives the judge a clear answer as she announces her guilty plea for second-degree murder in her 5-year-old daughter's death.
Do you want to go forward with your plea today?
Yes, sir.
Brianna Williams called 911 saying her daughter Taylor was missing and potentially kidnapped in November 2019. The former Navy petty officer appeared emotional on police body camera as she spoke with officers.
I woke up this morning and started getting away from work. She wasn't in her room.
This led to a massive search for Taylor. First responders and community members searched areas near Williams' home in Brentwood and the apartment they had just moved from on the south side. With no sign of Taylor, police say Williams stopped cooperating. Tracking technology led detectives to Williams' hometown of Demopolis, Alabama, a place she had recently been before her daughter's disappearance. Detectives ultimately found Taylor's remains in a wooded area.
Taylor Rose Williams' remains consisted of approximately 10% of her bones. Some of the recovered remains showed evidence of potential malnourishment, trauma, or disease.
Documents show Williams tortured, maliciously punished, or caged her daughter for more than 6 months before Taylor's body was found. With mounds of evidence against her, Williams admits to her daughter's tragic death. Brianna Williams is back in court on May 11th. They will have a hearing to schedule for when her sentencing hearing will be. The judge says she faces a minimum of 20 to life in prison. I also did reach out to Taylor Williams' family today. They did not wish to comment at this time, but coming up tonight at 6, the new evidence of a state attorney's office presented in court today that they say they have against Brianna Williams. Reporting live, Corley Peel, Channel 4, the local station.
News4JAX reporter Marilyn Parker joining us live from the Duval County Courthouse. Marilyn, this neighbor describes a casual relationship with Williams.
That's right. He says he saw Brianna Williams come home from work just about every day. Most of the times, Brianna would have her daughter Taylor with her, but he says all of that changed around the middle of May in 2019. It was after JSO spoke with Carlos Johnson that they arrested Brianna Williams for child neglect. Thursday, during Williams' sentencing hearing, he told the court on the morning of April 17th he saw 5-year-old Taylor Williams outside alone.
And I said, hey, there's a baby outside. Hold on a minute. And so I put the phone down and went downstairs and I said, Taylor, what are you doing out here? She said, I'm looking for my mama. I looked over, I didn't see her mom's car. I said, look, what you need to do is go back in the house, close the door and let me hear you lock it. Right?
When you saw Taylor, did she have anything with her?
Her doll.
Her doll?
Yeah, the stuffed animal.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was the stuffed animal, yeah.
Was this a doll you had seen her with before?
All the time.
He said he saw Williams come home around 6:30 or 7 that night. He didn't say anything to Williams, and the defense asked if Johnson ever called police. He said no. Another witness and neighbor to Williams told the court she offered to watch Taylor after learning she was outside alone, but Williams never reached out.
Did you see Taylor outside by herself again?
Yes.
How many more occasions?
2 more.
And was this over the course of a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Every time, did you have that same interaction with Taylor?
We did the same thing. It's like a routine kind of thing. You know, she knew what to do when I came down there. I said, hey, you know, you got to go inside. She goes in and locked the door, you know.
Was Taylor still hugging that dolly?
Yes, all the time.
And was she every time saying she was looking for her mom?
Right.
And every time did you see her car or was
No,
it gone?
it was always gone.
Johnson says 3 times a week he would see Taylor waving at him from the apartment sliding glass door, and Williams' car was never there. He says he never saw Taylor after May 15th, not even with her mother. And when he saw Williams, he would ask for Taylor, and Williams told him she was with her grandparents in Alabama for the summer. The defense asked Johnson if he was sure about the day he saw Taylor outside alone, and then pointed out how Johnson didn't know Williams that well. Now, the state also called a forensic investigator. They were looking into Williams' search history on her computer. There, they found multiple articles that talked about violence against children and malnourishment. The defense came back saying that there was no way of knowing if the person actually searched that on their own or if it was a random pop-up. Then we also heard the state, they called on an FDLE biologist. Now, this biologist did multiple blood samples from tests that were on the blood of the door inside the apartment, and 2 of those matches came back to match the DNA of 5-year-old Taylor Williams. Court picked back up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Brianna Williams will have to wait until Tuesday to learn just how long she will serve in prison for the murder of her 5-year-old daughter. Today, the judge decided he needs more time to review the 127 exhibits and expert records before sentencing. News4JAX reporter Marilyn Parker is joining us live from the Duval County Courthouse. Marilyn, some new information came out during the sentencing hearing about an interview that Williams had with a psychologist.
Right, and it was the defense that called the psychologist to the stand. The psychologist shared what Williams told him happened with Breonna Taylor's daughter, and basically with Taylor, and basically she told him that she had woken up one morning and Taylor was inside a closet, slumped over and cold. The state, after hearing this testimony, went on to rely with the evidence that they presented from their witnesses. The only Williams we heard freely in court was a video of young Taylor Williams at the beach. Her family gave the state these pictures because it was too hard for them to speak during Brianna Williams' sentencing hearing.
This court has not heard impact statements from family members. Why is that? It's because her own mother killed her.
Williams had the chance to speak in court Friday, but she told the judge she was nervous and scared. The mitigation specialist from the public defender's office read the statement Williams prepared.
I knew what I did was wrong. I failed as a mother, a protector, and as a decent human being.
Before reading the statement, the defense called a psychologist to the stand who explained what Williams told him happened to Taylor.
Brianna went to sleep early. Interestingly, she was comfortable with Taylor staying up and putting herself to bed. 11 o'clock noon the next day, it was when she kind of noticed something was odd, because Taylor would typically get up very early and be up and about. She said she searched for her on the bed, under the bed, before she found her in the closet, slumped over. thought she was asleep, tried to wake her up, but she fell over and was cold.
He says Williams didn't know what to do. She was having suicidal thoughts. Then a few weeks later, she put Taylor in a container and drove to Alabama to bury her daughter next to her grandfather's grave. The state asked why he accepted that story Williams gave him, and they moved on. Then they focused on the evidence multiple agencies found and how they feel Williams responded.
Taylor became too much, acting out, wetting the bed, in need of extra attention, interfering with her social life, interfering with her ability to move up and work, wanting more food than what the defendant felt she should have. So she withdrew her from the world. Unfortunately, we'll never know exactly how she died because the defendant let her body decompose before she discarded her like a piece of trash.
The state says in the evidence they presented, specifically the pictures, you could smell the filth and feel the suffocation Taylor lived in and the intention Williams had to stage a house on Ivy Street. They asked for the maximum sentence, saying Williams deserves to live the way she made her daughter live. Now, the defense said that they feel the state presented a whole lot of speculation about what exactly happened. Coming up on Tuesday, when the judge is expected to hand down this sentence, he says he wants to go over the psychological report and Williams' military record. He's expecting to hand down that sentence on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
A mother who admits to killing her own child is now sentenced to life in prison. 3 years ago, police discovered 5-year-old Taylor Rose Williams' remains hundreds of miles away from her Jacksonville home after her mother had reported her missing. In court, evidence showed her mother, Brianna Williams, starved the child to death and buried Taylor in a wooded area in Alabama. Today, Brianna Williams was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. News for Jax reporter Janice Harris joining us now live from the Duval County Courthouse, where Williams was sentenced just hours ago.
30-year-old Brianna Williams will spend the rest of her life in prison, according to the state attorney's office. And with this, the judge said that this was not an easy sentence for him to come to the decision of, but there was mounting evidence. There were questions about her character. And he also believed that it was important that she got this sentence to keep society safe, especially since she already harmed her own child.
5-year-old Taylor Rose Williams was killed by her own mother. Her mother, Brianna Williams, walked into court today chained and silent. Moments later, she was sentenced to life in prison after admitting to killing Taylor. Judge Kevin Blaze spoke about Taylor's short and neglected life.
The victim was not valued from the time of conception by either her father or mother.
Evidence showed Williams starved her daughter, but the exact cause will never be known because Taylor's body was so badly decomposed. Before Taylor's death, she was locked in a house and left alone for days. After Williams was sentenced to life for Taylor's death, she didn't say a word. Lead prosecutor for the case, Lauren Anderson, told us horrific cases like this one is the reason she became an attorney.
In this case in particular, we have a child victim who was killed by her own mother. That obviously was striking to all of us in our office as well as the investigators. So it's something that we worked tirelessly day in, day out.
State Attorney for District 4, Melissa Nelson.
This case was emotional for everybody who touched it, for anybody who went to the apartment, to the house, to Alabama. It touched our community because it involved a completely innocent child. And the manner in which she died, which obviously the court found today, the evidence supports that she was starved to death, is particularly horrific.
Taylor Rose Williams' life lasted only 5 years because of the neglect of her mother. Perhaps now she rests in peace, knowing that so many people fought for her justice.
And if Taylor Rose were still alive today, she would have been 8 years old and in the 2nd grade. Reporting live at the Duval County Courthouse, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
Janice, Brianna Williams also charged with other crimes in this case.
She was initially charged with 2 counts of child neglect, also giving bad information to police, lying to police, and tampering with evidence. But once she took the plea for the 2nd-degree murder for Taylor's death, those other charges were dropped, and this one took precedent.
Janice Harris reporting live from downtown in the courthouse. Thank you, Janice.
All right, y'all. So you want my thoughts and you want my opinion. Here we go. They do have an invention called birth control. I don't like the invention that they made called abortion, because if you woman enough to lay down and open your legs to get pregnant, you should be woman enough to have the baby, unless it was forcible. That's just my belief. I'm pro-life. Then they also have an invention called, well, I shouldn't even say an invention. They have something called think for yourself. Keep your damn legs closed. Celibacy. If you didn't want a baby, if you didn't want to take on the responsibility of being a parent, you should have kept your damn legs closed, or you should have took preventative measures to make sure that you didn't get pregnant. This innocent child did not ask to be brought into this world. And for you to starve this child to death because she didn't fit into your lifestyle, you damn right you failed as a mother. Hell, you wasn't a mother. Because there's no way in hell that you would have caged this child, caged her, and didn't feed her. There's no way in hell that you would have left her alone by herself, where she could have been injured, she could have caused a fire, she could have did anything. But your ass was up walking around eating, smiling, and joking and everything else. But you left this child to be malnourished. You left this child alone in a home by herself. Yeah, you failed as a human being. You said all the right things. But goddamn it, do you really believe them? Do you really believe them? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Why have kids if we don't want them? You could have even put the baby up for adoption if you weren't ready to be a mother. You could have asked some of your family to watch this baby if you wasn't ready to be a mother. If you were mentally incapable of being a mother, why not seek help? Why not seek help? Like I said, this child didn't ask to be brought into this world. And for you to inflict such torture upon this beautiful baby, I have no words for you. I have no words for you. And then to be in the military, an officer in the military, you're supposed to be protecting us from our enemies. And you were your own self-enemy. You were an enemy to your own child. Then for the father to not to want to be involved in the child's life. Men, all I can say is it takes a few minutes of pleasure to create a life. If you don't know the person that you're sleeping with, or if you're not ready for a child, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Because it only takes one time to produce a baby. And then you're tied to that person for the next 18 years of your life, of their life. So if you don't want to be a father, think about that. Think about that. Because again, it was all fine and dandy when you was doing the grown folks, getting your bang bang on. But then the moment that she said she was pregnant, you out. And I'm not saying this to every man, because there are some damn good fathers out there. I'm saying this to the fathers who have upped and left when they found out they had a child on the way. That's what I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking to. Now, being a mother is not an easy job. It is a job that you have to do 365 days out of the year. It is a job that you do whether you sick, whether you well, whether you happy, whether you sad. It's not a job that everybody gets right. Nobody is a perfect parent. We can only strive to do things to ensure the safety of our child and to ensure that we are doing things right as a parent. If we need help, there are so many things that are in place that we can reach out to. They have parenting classes. They have so many things that you can do. It should never be taken to this magnitude that an innocent child loses their life because of our own stupidity and our own ignorance, because they didn't fit into our lifestyle. Y'all know my famous words, fuck your lifestyle. When you gave birth to this child and you took this child home, when you opened your legs, you signed on for this commitment. And if it wasn't a commitment that you wanted, you had options. You didn't have to do this to this innocent child. You did not have to do this to this innocent child. I definitely pray for your soul. Y'all, I pray for this world because it is so many things that are going on in this world that are just truly heartbreaking. All I can say is, now you have a lifetime sentence to think about what you did to this beautiful baby that you gave birth to, that you carried for 9 months. And what's even sadder is the fact that none of your family even showed up. They didn't want to be affiliated with you and the death of your 5-year-old child. None of them. You stood alone in that courtroom by yourself. Now, y'all, I will say this. I don't agree with what this woman did at all. But we can't change who our family is. We cannot change who our family is. And even though we don't agree with what transpired, we still have to offer some type of support. And when I say that, I'm not saying that, oh, I'm taking her side. No. It just makes me wonder if this woman has stood alone in the same situations by herself, in serious traumatic situations by herself. Because regardless of what goes on, I'm going to be there for mine. I'm going to be there for mine. I'm definitely going to tell them what's right and what's wrong. So she does appear to have something there that she may need to get worked out. But at the end of the day, only God can judge her. I can only give you my commentary based upon what was put out there. But I pray for her. And my questions to her is, why even have the baby if you were going to mistreat her? Why not let the neighbor watch that child instead of leaving that child by herself? Why didn't the neighbor contact CPS the first time, the second time, the third time, fourth time, when he seen that child by herself outside alone and the mom's car wasn't there? I understand that we are living in careless times and we don't want to get involved in fear that something may happen to us if we speak out. But this is the consequences that we face when we don't speak out. This is the consequences. I couldn't live with that on my conscience, knowing that an innocent child's life was lost. And I could have did my due diligence by contacting CPS or DFC, whatever they want to call them, to try to get that baby some help. I understand the gentleman said, go in the house, lock the door. But I just feel like more could have been done. I commend him for even doing that because he didn't have to. Y'all, I'm Miss Leda. I'm opinionated. I'm unbothered. And I am so unapologetically me. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. Until next time, I am your girl, Miss Leda, wishing you nothing but blessings and peace and happiness, honey. Please continue to pray for this world and all the trials and tribulations that everyone is going through on a daily basis. If you guys don't know, please make sure you go over there and check out my Auntie Vaughn. She just made it to 300 subscribers. Congratulations, Auntie Vaughn. Kudos. She is better known as Vaughn's Vittles. Let's eat. And then also make sure you go check out my Auntie Linda. It is MZ capital LNDA on YouTube. She is also known as the queen of reaction videos. And I love to call her the female cussing pastor because she definitely gonna cuss. That's one thing she gonna do, but she gonna keep it real with you. She gonna instill some wisdom into you and she gonna tell you off in the name of Jesus, baby. Hallelujah. And then always make sure you go over there and check out my girl Nosy Gang. She hasn't been on lately, but if you get her to 1,000 subscribers, I might be able to convince my girl to come on back. She is about 6 away from actually getting to 1,000 subscribers. So please, please, please encourage my girl to come on back as always. Then also my Auntie Linda is almost to 300 subscribers. Can y'all go on and help her get there? Help her get there, please. Please help my auntie out. She is thebomb.com. I love me some Miss Linda and some Auntie Vaughn. Y'all stay tuned for what we have in store next for you guys because you never know. We might even do some collabs together. All right? Y'all stay blessed. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Man, let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, come on in here and talk to me. Sit on down and relax your tired feet.
Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me.